let's go over the cardinal axis and how they can potentially be destructive, because all signs can be. Aries can be destructive because they can be very impulsive, but they also are so identity focused, like based on themselves, like who they are. They have that passion and fire for who they are, that if they don't balance that out with wanting to be in harmony with other people, then they can become quite aggressive in going after the things that they want because they have so much Mars energy. So if you put yourself over everyone else constantly, then you kind of indulge in that very narcissistic personality trait that you matter over people, over harmony, over relationships, that what you identify as, how you think of yourself, your persona, and your drive, what you go after, is more important than everyone else, and there's no balance in that. So they can become quite aggressive. With Libra energy, how they can be potentially destructive is that if you don't want harmony in relationships, let's say that you're someone who grew up and you didn't feel like you were getting a lot of balance in your relationships, and now, or justice in your relationship, so you don't have that balance of what you do for yourself versus what you do for others, then you're going to lose your sense of justice, because you're like, well, I do so many things for other people and they never do things for me, so I'm only going to, then you kind of dip into that Aries axis of focusing on yourself, and that kind of makes you lose your morals a little bit, because Libra is, they want harmony. If they no longer want harmony with other people, that's where their kind of sense of justice will go away. And if you think about the justice system, when people don't care about other people or having harmony on the earth, the justice system, like in the US, gets completely messed up and corrupted with greed, because again, that Aries axis, when you go after things without caring about harmony, usually you will put a lot of drive and action towards your own kind of selfish desires. So the justice system is a perfect example, because Libra has that wanting harmony and balance for everyone. So if you think about how corrupt the justice system has become, because people are not putting the balance between themselves and relationships, it's like way out of whack. A lot of innocent people are going to prison because of people cutting deals with people, or not telling the truth, like right in the courtroom, because they think that whatever benefits them is more important. Capricorn, for example, can become destructive because they're so ambition oriented, because they have karmically like a lot of work that they come in wanting to do because they're ruled by Saturn. But if they don't balance that karma, if they don't deal with their karma, a lot of times they bring in from past lives a lot of dark energies, because it is a very stoic sign. It actually holds a lot of emotional intensity, because it's opposite Cancer, of like the destructive expression of Capricorn can be someone who is just completely focused on climbing to the top of the ladder. And when you do that without even reflecting on your own emotions or reflecting on your inner emotional self and your past life soul memory, if you don't confront any of that, which is like the Cancer axis, because Cancer has a lot to do with memory and like water, if you don't deal with your past life karmic stuff as a Capricorn, then what you're bringing from the spirits of the sea, like the sea goat that represents it, it starts in the sea of emotional waters and brings its knowledge of what it learned from the spiritual and all the lives onto the land as the goat, and it climbs up the mountain slowly so that it can bring something good to humanity, build on top of a real foundation, so that it can build something new for humanity that's tangible, that will change things structurally and for society. So if they don't deal with, like, for example, their mother wounds, which is very Cancer energy, then they will become someone who just will completely not reflect on their inner self and their past memories and past karmic stuff, and they'll just want to climb to the ladder. And again, with that energy, it's like you'll step on anyone to do that, and it can be very destructive. And because Capricorn has to do with society as a whole, if you think we've had Pluto in Capricorn for the past long time. And so we've had Pluto in Capricorn, and it just now moved into Aquarius. So if you think about the structures of society, people wanting to climb to the top without having that emotional, spiritual understanding has been very destructive for society. And because Capricorn is so tangible, like physical matter, it's destroying the earth. A lot of pollution happening. It kind of relates to that Saturnian Aquarius vibe of like innovate something new with technology into the world. Capricorns build something based off of traditions. And if you're looking at, really negative traditions and you just go off of that, then you're going to build something really bad for society. Cancer access. Cancer can be destructive because if they don't reflect on their inner emotional state and their inner nurturer and their past life memories as well, because Cancer has a lot to do with memory. And Cancer also relates to the family. So if you think of the upbringing, if you're not reflecting on all of those things that go into your emotions of your upbringing, that in itself can be very destructive, because we all have wounds that come from our childhood and from our families and from our parents and things like that. And if you think like Cancer tends to represent the mother, Capricorn tends to represent the father, if we're not reflecting on those inner emotional energies, we will just project them out to the world. You can become very manipulative because Cancers have a very good understanding of emotions just as a baseline. So you could read other people's emotions, or you begin to develop that. And if you're not keeping a balance, Cancer Capricorn axis of keeping your emotions and looking at them from a practical standpoint and not just from your own personal emotional standpoint, Capricorn helps bring us down to earth. Cancer can be very destructive if you don't balance your emotions, because then you go out and you start emotionally manipulating other people, damaging other people's inner emotions and playing with them and manipulating them. You're causing such internal wounds that then seep into the subconscious, because you think Cancer is ruled by the moon. It seeps into the subconscious, and then it just wreaks havoc on our bodies from the inside out, the stomach. You could literally make people sick with manipulative Cancer energy, because like, for example, gaslighting. People who like gaslight, that alone can cause such trauma that then they bring into their new relationships. Let's say there was a Cancer motherly energy that then they put that on their kids, and their kids will put that on their kids, and their kids will put that on their kids, and it's a cycle. It runs in the family. It literally starts to seep into the DNA because the destructive energy is within the body. And so it literally will go down. It's like doing destruction to your whole family line when you don't deal with your emotions. Cardinal signs are very driven to go after what they want. And so what they take with them, the baggage they take with them, is really what causes the destruction for the cardinal signs. I mean, for all the signs, but the cardinal signs, because they can really cause change to happen, that's why they get the ball rolling a lot of times. And so it's like, is that a destructive ball? Are you rolling that ball down the hill to run over people? Or are you rolling the ball to get new good things coming in here? And if you're interested in this kind of stuff, you can follow along for more. And I offer Astrology readings.